Oops. All right. Let me start first. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Jang Yin, and I'm part of team that includes Julia Bush, Caroline Mock, and Maria Montoya. And we've been working together on the final project with the primary objective of developing a deep BIM model for the coach building. So first, we are going to introduce ourselves one by one. First, Julia Bush. Yep.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm a master's student in civil engineering, and I'm concentrating in structural engineering, mechanics, and materials. And I am doing the BSMS program at Tech. So I just graduated with my bachelor's degree in December of 2022, and I'm planning to graduate with my master's in 2023. And I have been working part-time at a structural engineering firm for the past year, working with buildings and sports stadiums and things like that.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline Mock. I'm a Master's of Architecture student. I'm in the 3.5-year program. I've got one more year left, so I'll be graduating in the spring of 2023. I got my undergrad at Georgia State. I did a BFA in interior design, and I did some workplace design for a little bit, and as well as restaurant design.
And my name is Mario Montoya. I'm a student in the Master's of Building Construction and Facility Management program. My expected graduation is this fall, 2023. My undergrad was in civil engineering, and I have experience in construction management. And I currently work as a consultant for Accenture under the capital projects team.
My name is Jang Yun, second-year PhD student in the School of Building Constructions. I'm working under the instructions of Dr. Ashuri, and my research interests are related to the risk management and risk mitigations in highway constructions with change order related data based on statistical methods, including machine learning techniques. I'm planning to graduate in fall 2025, and I hope that I can work as a researcher in the future. Thank you.
So we're going to start with an overview of what the building is, how it looks like, and what's going on inside of it right now. We conducted a site visit on the building on July 18th, 2023, and the whole team met outside of the building. We did a quick walk through the areas that we were allowed to walk through. It is important to note that the work is currently under renovation, and there are some areas that we cannot enter unless we're part of the staff that is working on the renovations and wearing the appropriate PPE or the personal protection equipment. The building is about 100 years old. It'll turn 100 years in 2030. And the scope of the construction currently includes demolition of various rooms within level 1 and level 2. Next slide, please. And which includes removal of the existing flooring, the walls, some ceiling tiles. The old fixtures are going to be replaced. Doors are going to be replaced by new doors, and some windows and storefronts on level 1. Since the building is so old, there was a structural analysis and report that was created of the building, and some of the floor joists need to be augmented or completely replaced to support the new existing loads for the new use within the building. The new finishes in the building included in the renovation will include new walls, wall base, brand new flooring, new LED ceiling fixtures and ceiling tiles. It will also include new millwork and doors. The restroom in the basement floor will also be completely renovated and includes new toilet accessories and toilet compartments, several appliances, and practice booths, since this is a building that is used for performances as part of the School of Music. Associated with the new wall layouts and the new rooms, there was also going to be an upgrade and update of the electrical systems, mechanical units, mechanical ductwork and diffusers and registers. The fire protection has to be also updated to abide with the existing code. and new plumbing systems will be installed for new appliances and for the renovation of the restrooms. So on the next slide, we're going to see two pictures. One of them, the one on the left, shows the area on the level 1, which is currently under renovation. So you can tell the ceilings have been completely removed. Some of the mechanical ductwork has been gutted out. The ceiling fixtures are currently hanging, but will ultimately be replaced. And you can see that the walls are going to be refinished, and the flooring is going to be completely renovated as well. The picture on the right is a picture of the new offices on level 1 as well. And as you can tell, it's completely brand new with new LED fixtures and new ceiling grid, new walls and wall base. And it also includes the new flooring. So you can see the big difference between the two pictures. On the next slide, we will also see the existing restroom on level 1. This restroom was renovated earlier under another contract, but it is included in this presentation to show how the restroom on the basement floor will look like, as it is supposed to match level 1. So you see stainless steel compartments, new plumbing fixtures, new millwork, which also include water efficient fixtures as well.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about how we actually decided to build the model. So we just decided to split it up amongst ourselves by component. So first I put in the walls, and I used the renovation drawing set, and I used a PDF editing software that had a measuring tool where I could set it to the scale that the drawings were in, so I could estimate the size of each room and closet and stairwells that way. And then Jong-Yoon did the floors and the ceilings after that, and added all of the finishes based on the renovations. And then Mario did the roof, and Caroline did the stairs, doors, and windows. And you can see to the right the step-by-step. So I made the walls and then sent it to my group, and then Jong-Yoon added the floors and ceilings, and then you can see some stairs and windows were added in the last picture, as well as the site around the building. So for our important assumptions, first I was assuming that the floor-to-floor height was 12 feet based on the drawings having mentioned that the ceiling was 10 feet, having 10 feet clearance in some rooms. So I assumed that the floor-to-floor height would be about 12 feet. And then for the walls, I used brick-on-metal studs for the exterior walls. The exterior walls weren't really included in the renovations because they were only modifying like indoor spaces. But it's a pretty standard assumption, I think, for it to have a brick-on-metal stud facade. And then the interior walls, I used the 4 7/8 inch partition walls because it had the same layers that were included in the drawings. As you can see, they're pretty unclear or hard to read, and a lot of things aren't really dimensioned, but it did have gypsum and stud and gypsum layers. So the partition walls seem to be pretty close to what was in the plans.
Let me explain several assumptions for the floors and ceiling for the coach building. For the floors, I consider 6 inches slab and grade constructed with cast-in-place grade concrete. The specific finish were determined based on the finish legend provided in the drawing as shown in the table on this slide. So I applied various finishes for the floors, such as carpet tile, ceramic tile, vinyl tile, and engineered wood based on the corresponding details in the drawings. There were some instances where the finish tile were not specified. So in such cases, I made an assumption and applied vinyl tile for the unspecified floors. And for the ceiling, a height of 10 feet was determined, taking into account the necessary space for the slab, beams, and other elements. So the majority of the ceiling were constructed using new 2x2 acoustic ceiling tiles and gypsum board.
So now I'll talk a little bit about the assumptions we made for the roof. So we looked on Google Earth and, you know, based on views from the street as well and the Google Earth image on your left there, we believe that it is a flat roof with a parapet with this decorative fascia that you can see running along the top of the building. So that's how we modeled it. You can kind of see here in this top middle drawing from our model where the parapet dips into the roof. And for the doors, based on the drawing set, we assumed a 3-foot by 7-foot door that was 1 3/4 inch thick with the paint wood finish. And then the other door type that was in the set was a 3 by 7-foot door that was 2.5 inches thick, and that was metal with a painted finish. For windows, all the windows in the building except for the basement level were to remain the original. And based on our site visits, those were just like double hung metal with paint windows. And in the basement windows, you can see in this detail here, they have this like clear laminated safety glass, and it was for creating like a better sound system in the basement recording studio. And here's our first interior renovation. This is the level 1 coming in off of the side entry. That's the view. The flooring is Interface LVT. You can see the doors again. So we have the metal doors and the wood doors. And the ceiling is 2x2 acoustic ceiling tile on gyp ceiling.
This interior rendering shows the offices that were renovated on level 2, or the future offices on level 2. In this case, we have Interface carpet tile instead of LVT, wood doors that are 7 foot tall. And for the ceilings, we have 2x2 acoustical ceiling tiles. And in some locations, we will have some gypsum wallboard ceilings as well.
And our last rendering is from the exterior, so you can see the brick facade that I was talking about earlier, as well as the windows that we put in. We also have some landscaping elements to make our rendering look a little more realistic to what the outside of the building actually looks like. And that wraps up the PowerPoint presentation portion of our presentation. Caroline, I don't know if you want to share our 3D model for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll pull the model up and do a little fly through. Let's put it in realistic. So we did end up adding topography just because the building has a really interesting grade. It's up about, I would say, around 2 meters off of the street. And there's a very interesting system with the stairs. So there's sort of a half level. If I click on this wall here, you can see that the entry door kind of takes you into a stair off of this like half level. But yeah, as you can see, we need to turn my roof on. Got some plantings. And a full model for you to take a look at. All right. Should that wrap us up?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for watching.
Thank you.